Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We've got Gonzalo here ready to go. So we'll start with questions on Zoom. Or Doug, if you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gonzo, you talked about on Friday the need to be more precise on offense, the need for transition defense, and winning duels. And it seemed like all three of those kind of bit you today. Is that fair?
Yes, a little bit. I think that's fair. I think we also talk about creating more chances, and I think we did that as well. So there were moments of the game where I felt that we had the dominant side of the game, and we created enough chances, in my opinion. But things like this is happening to us that we need to be just more clinical. And I think also the goals we are conceding are not up to the standard we want to concede, and we just need to do better on both ends.
That you talked about it all season, but it's a short season, so a young season so far. You talked about doing more finishing drills. We could hear you in training telling the guys score, score, score when they would miss. What more can you do? Or is it just karma or probabilities?
Yeah, I mean, what else can I do? We can continue playing offensively and try to create the chances. I mean, this is a better problem to have, not being clinical when you create too many chances, rather than not even creating at all. And then begging for a set piece or a counter attack or something like that in order to create goals. I think we just need to be better. Obviously, since the training sessions, we have to do better. We have to try to be more clinical. And in time, I think this thing will change. And with the amount of chances we're creating, I think we're going to score way more goals.
Well, getting Araujo 90 minutes fit, that should be a help, I would think, to the offense.
Yeah, I agree. For sure, that's big part of it. Obviously, we're missing two big pieces of our attack, Joseph Martinez and Luis Araujo, in terms of goals productions and all that. So I'm cognizant of that. I think we still can score many more goals even without those two important players. I think the way we are creating the chances is important to me. So we just need to do better. And again, this is why the forwards just earn a lot of money, because they know how to put the ball on the back of the end of the net. And I mean, that's a game.
All right, we'll go to Zoom.
Hey, Gonzalo, Felipe here.
Yes.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago wanting to work on breaking the first line of pressure. It looked like Atlanta, did that really well. Throughout the match, I think when it got a little bit more even, Miami tightened up. But what else did you like from the center backs to midfield? That seemed like a strength today. And what can you say about George Campbell? A young player who's getting playing time. How can you maintain his confidence moving forward?
Yes, well, first of all, I agree with you. I think we were good, not just in breaking the first line of pressure, but on balancing the midfield. I think that is something that we are doing good. So there are some positives out of the result. Not everything is doom and gloom, but obviously it's a sour, taste in my mouth because we should have won this one. I think we should have won this one. And even against Cincinnati, I felt the same. So I feel like we are doing so many good things, like what you just said, like breaking the first line of pressure, my certain center backs being aggressive and passing in between the lines and creating chances and looking for different ways to attack. Also in the final third, we create so many different types of chances, like from shots, from crosses, from what I call the primacy zones, inverted crosses, through balls. So there were so many different ways to open up today the opposite box that, again, disappointed with the result. In terms of George Campbell, he's a center back with enormous potential. We're very high on George. He's still a very young player, and at times center backs take a little bit longer just to have consistency. That's all he's missing, and that will come with time, I would say. Obviously, he has to believe in himself. I believe in him. The team believes in him because he's a hard worker. He's a very talented center back. but he just needs to believe the same way about himself and just continue with the path of growing, right? So I'm still very high on George, and I'm here to help him in any way to just be more stable in terms of performances week after week.
2 penalties weren't given today for Atlanta United. How do you respond to that? What did the fourth official say to you? Have you been given any sort of clarity on those calls?
Yeah, well, Nimak was great. With me, he was very clear on how the process with VAR is nowadays, that is served remote. And on those, I have to trust in VAR. I think I wasn't believing in VAR before it was part of the game, but now that it's here, we need to trust in that process. And at the end, one penalty was checked from the remote VAR, and they say no. The other one, it was more up to Jair Marufo to make the final call. I haven't seen the play, so from my perspective, it should have been a PK, but I haven't seen the replay, and I trust whatever the referees are deciding against us is okay. I will never complain about it. It was Jair's call, and that's okay.
Thank you.
There's Marcel to the Sports Inquirer. What about Bobby's first start at goalkeeper in the MLS competition for you? How do you think he performed in just his organization of the defense?
Yes, I think he's steady. He's an experienced goalkeeper. He brought that. I felt that he did a good job in those terms. He didn't have enough work, to be honest. I don't think he had a lot of saves or anything like that. It was more at times even the build-up was very easy because he wasn't even involved in that. And then I think the 2 goals, he had nothing to do with those. So it's just I think it was a solid performance, but didn't really show anything because he didn't have enough job work, in my opinion.
Anything else on Zoom? Got time for one more? All right, we'll let him go then. Thanks, everyone. All right, we're ready for questions for Ronaldo.
Can you just go through your first goal, the play and how it happened?
Si nos puedes hablar de la jugada de tu gol.
Bueno, un centro, un tiro de esquina que veo que un compañero la peina y intento ir a buscar la peinada, pero bueno, no tengo suerte ahí, pero después con los rebotes me cae y lo único que pensé fue en patear al arco como fuera y gracias a Dios.
It was a corner kick, and one of my teammates was able to flick it on, and I tried to go search for the ball to finish it right away. I wasn't able to, but luckily the ball fell to me again, and in that time, thank God I was able to finish it.
The team has had an issue all season, kind of finishing chances. Y'all created a ton of opportunities today. You put as many shots on goal as Miami took in the game. What's it going to take for some of these to finally start going in?
El equipo pues hizo muchas ocasiones, muchos tiros a puerta que hace falta para que entren los chances.
Bueno, yo creo que el equipo ha venido jugando bastante bien, creando muchas oportunidades y como lo comentas, lo que ha faltado es que entre el balón. Lo que tenemos que hacer es seguir manteniendo eso, seguir creando jugadas, seguir siendo superiores al rival y bueno, concretando más las oportunidades para poder obtener puntos y pelear en puestos importantes.
I think the team has been playing really well. I think we've been creating those chances, and as you say, the ball just hasn't been going in. But I think what we need to do is to just continue working, continue creating those goal-scoring plays, and continue trying to be superior to the opponent. So we just have to continue working on those.
Is it a challenge to not get frustrated or lose confidence when the ball's just not going in?
Si es un desafío no estar frustrado si no entra la pelota.
Obviamente que conforme va pasando el juego y no entran las jugadas que estamos teniendo, existe cierta frustración, pero yo creo que el equipo estaría más frustrado si no estuviéramos creando oportunidades, si no estuviéramos jugando nada, si los equipos estuvieran siendo mejores que nosotros, pero bueno, es todo lo contrario, ¿eh? Estamos siendo en el trámite del juego mejores, estamos creando oportunidades bueno, sabemos que tarde o temprano los goles tienen que caer.
Obviously, there's a little bit of frustration when we're not able to finish the chances that we're creating, but I think there would be more frustration if, you know, if it was the opposite, if we weren't creating anything, if we weren't playing better than the opponents, and we, you know, we didn't have those chances at all. But I think, you know, you've seen we are creating them. We have been playing better than the opponents, and you know that's all we can really focus on.
How close did that shot at the very end come to being in?
¿Qué tan cerca fue bueno, uno de los últimos tiros?
Bueno, muy cerca, igual y como estaba en primer poste, busqué que fuera segundo por si no entraba mi cabezazo, llegar algún compañero, pero lamentablemente no llegó nadie.
It was very close. You know, I tried to put it to the second post just in case it didn't go in, that maybe one of my teammates could be there, but you know, it didn't happen. All right, we can go to Zoom.
Ronaldo, ¿qué tal? Felipe Cárdenas con The Athletic, muchísimo gusto, ¿cómo está?
Muchísimo gusto, igual, Felipe. Todo bien, gracias a Dios.
Qué bueno, felicitaciones por el gol. Lamentable el resultado. Acabas de decir que ser superior al rival es sumamente importante. ¿Sientes que hoy en los 90 minutos Atlanta United sí fue superior? Y háblame un poquito, si puedes, sobre la mentalidad del equipo. Cuando se juega bien y no se ganan partidos, pues eso frustra.
Sí, creo que tuvimos más posición de balón, tuvimos más oportunidades. El primer tiempo por ahí estuvo un poquito más peleado. Ellos también tuvieron algunos tiempos con posesión de balón, pero realmente en el primer tiempo y en el segundo tiempo nosotros creamos más oportunidades y estuvimos más cerca de hacer los goles. Lamentablemente, dos desatenciones nos cuestan dos goles en contra y bueno, también la derrota, pero el equipo obviamente está muy triste porque no hemos podido ganar en estos últimos partidos, pero sabemos que dentro de la cancha este es el camino, teniendo el balón, creando oportunidades, metiendo a los defensas rivales en su propia área y bueno, sabemos que tarde o temprano caerán los goles y los triunfos.
I think you know, I think we did have the majority of the chances today and the majority of the possession. Maybe the first half was a bit more even with both teams having some opportunities to score, but in the second half, I think we had the better of the chances, but they're able to score on two plays. But I think the path for this team is just continue to do the things that we're doing, to have the majority of the possession, to try and create these chances. And if we do that, sooner or later, the goals will come.
Y Ronaldo, ¿cómo has manejado la presión de ser el 9, de ser un delantero nuevo, de tener que suplir los goles, anotar, en una posición donde obviamente hay mucha competencia, un club en la MLS donde hay pues presión y expectativas?
Bueno, mencionaste muy bien todo. El delantero siempre está presionado por meter goles, es su principal función y bueno, casi toda mi vida he jugado en esa posición, entonces pues lo he sabido llevar de buena manera. Me he dado cuenta que a pesar de su corto tiempo en MLS, es un equipo que siempre es protagonista y que siempre los rivales le tienen bastante respeto. Y bueno, yo contento con eso de estar ahorita, bueno, siendo tomado en cuenta para ser titular y bueno, lo que tengo que seguir haciendo es respondiendo con goles, con asistencias, con el esfuerzo ahí dentro de la cancha, siempre peleando todos los balones.
I think you said it well, that a forward is a position that is used to having a lot of pressure. So it's a position I played for a long time. So I know how to manage that pressure in my own way. But in the short time that I've been in MLS, I've noticed that Atlanta is a team that wants to be a protagonist in all of its matches. And it's a team that opponents have a lot of respect for when they play against. So the only thing I can do is continue working, you know, trying to help this team in ways that I can, try and help with goals and assists. and try to earn that opportunity to play.
Y por último, ¿cuáles fueron las palabras del profe Gonzalo Pineda después de esta derrota? O sea, ¿cuál es la sensación? Ya dijiste que hay tristeza, pero ¿qué es lo que le dijo el cuerpo técnico a ustedes después de esta derrota?
Bueno, que no nos podemos permitir tener desatenciones, no solo en la parte defensiva, sino también arriba, el estar tanto tiempo sobre el rival y creando oportunidades y no hacer los goles, pues, cuesta porque después llega una desatención de atrás y se convierte en gol en contra. Entonces, por eso no hemos podido sacar los mejores resultados estos últimos 3 partidos, pero bueno, también sabiendo que si seguimos insistiendo, podemos sacar mejores resultados.
He just spoke about how it's difficult when we have so many chances to score and then we give up those 2 goals, that it's tough, but we have to continue playing the same way, continue trying to have the ball and not giving up the goals, and we feel that if we do that, then things will go our way.